Let's close our eyes. Close our eyes. Think about Magic Johnson. You can see the smile. Think about Michael. You can see that cocky grin. Think about LeBron. You can see the imagery. Pre-game, chalk. You can close your eyes and there's images with stars. Close your eyes now and do it with Tatum. I don't see anything.
Colin Cowherd to come on air and hear all the noise about Jayson Tatum in the past few weeks about can he be the next face of the NBA? Look at all these accolades that he has to this point in his career. He should get more recognition. He deserves more praise. And Cowherd came on air and put out an analogy like he does. Loves the analogies. He made us picture by closing our eyes Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, three of the greatest basketball players the game has ever seen. And then he made us close our eyes and picture Jayson Tatum. And he asked us, what do you picture when you see Jayson Tatum? He said he doesn't picture anything. You know what I picture, Nate.
I don't want to know what you picture.
I just picture, simply put, the most perfect basketball player that has ever walked life. And he's now 27 today.
Why'd you just describe him like he's Jesus?
From a basketball standpoint, don't we all talk about the game of basketball like it's life? So then talk about the players
basketball
like
is
they
life.
are
Ball
these,
is life.
these
Ball is life,
superheroes. At the end of the day, what Jayson Tatum is as a basketball player has to be more appreciated because he's the prime example. I always looked up to Steph Curry because of what he did on and off the court and how great of an example he was to everybody. But Jayson Tatum, I mean, he doesn't do anything wrong. And so now we see all this hate in the media. Okay. We see all this criticism in the media, and he doesn't deserve it more so. He deserves all the praise in the world. You can see what you want when you see Jayson Tatum. But I know what I see. I see the greatest basketball player of all time, or at least the future greatest basketball player of all time. It's fine to appreciate the greatness in the NBA. That's what we should do on the daily basis. But for a player who, simply put, has it set up for him, like what he's done in these 7-8 years of his NBA career, his young NBA career, is a Hall of Fame career in and of itself. And now he has 13 more years of greatness ahead of him with the Boston Celtics, the most beloved, the best NBA franchise at his very back pushing him. The success is going to be there, and Jayson Tatum will go down as the greatest of all time. So what Colin Cowherd said, it'll go down as the worst take in the history of takes.
Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro.
We're good, bro.
Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro. That was the worst take in NBA history. That is my personal worst take I've ever heard. Colin Cowherd to say that does, honestly, am I talking too loud?
No, you're good. I'm just adjusting myself.
No, you're good. Colin Cowherd, in my personal opinion, I think he has great takes. I think he has great analogies. And I actually think in some certain ways, he has a point in this analogy.
Okay.
Doesn't mean Jayson Tatum's not a great. I think he will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done, for sure. But
answer the question, Nate. What do you see when you see Jayson Tatum? When you hear the name Jayson Tatum?
When I close my eyes.
When you close your eyes and I say it, Jayson Tatum, what do you see?
I see.
Do you see him getting crossed up in that meme emoji? Do you see him rolling his ankle in Game 7? Like, which bad moment is it that you see? Because for some reason, everyone wants to point a negative picture on Jayson Tatum. That is our point here. Colin Cowherd, you might have hit it on the head. You are the reason for it. You paint this amazing basketball player that we should all appreciate the way we appreciate a dude in high school named Cooper Flagg. Tatum has 8 years of a Hall of Fame career, and we appreciate a dude who has never stepped foot on an NBA floor more than Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum's tough. And Jayson Tatum...
the toughest.
Look. Yes, he is. the toughest, one of the toughest, the top 3, top 5, wherever you have him. If you watch basketball, you should understand that Jayson Tatum is one of the best basketball players in the world. But, and there's
always a but.
This is the big but. He doesn't have the likability as the other people on the top do. And do you want to know why?
Yep.
It's because the chill guy nowadays, the chill guy that just sits back, does his thing, show up to work, and leave. I mean, he might be like boring, I guess. He might not be Anthony Edwards. He might not be Cooper Flagg. He's Jayson Tatum, and that's beautiful about it. But the fact that some people can't appreciate it and just have no reason to hate on him, like we have seen literal clips on the internet of people live reacting to basketball games, watching Jayson Tatum, seeing him score or do something well, and getting pissed off. Like I've seen clips of people
saying, oh well, it didn't swish.
Yeah,
like literally that I've heard by an analysis while watching Jayson Tatum. I cannot, unless I watch it on NBCSN. Shout out the fellas, Drew, and of course Scalabrini. That's the best broadcast, and it's the only broadcast I can watch when watching a Celtics game. If they're on national television and those boys aren't, broadcasting, or I don't get the NBCSN game, and I have to deal with a TNT or ABC, ESPN crew covering the Celtics,
good heavens.
It is the most disgraceful thing I've ever watched.
Good heavens.
To have to play the way we play in a first half so well, so beautifully, and then for it to go to a halftime report and to hear Stephen A. Smith say the things that he says about the Boston Celtics, it hurts my soul.
So when you say this about the face of the NBA and the media about the NBA, because the problem is the outside, the problem is the chatter to you and how he doesn't feel appreciated, because this is all stemming from Jayson Tatum not feeling appreciated. Do you think it comes from hate?
I believe that Jayson Tatum is the face of the NBA, and whether it was the past title that they just won that solidified that and proved it, or whether it was a moment in the past 3 years, a run, a couple of playoff wins in the past 3 years, a couple of playoff moments, the 50 ball, the 46 ball against Milwaukee, beating Jimmy Butler, whatever it was, there were moments that allowed me to realize it. But the NBA media as a whole and the fan bases are ignoring it. There's this basketball player in front of our eyes, and he just turned 27 years old, and he has a championship, not an MVP. Who cares? He will win an MVP one day. But if he goes back-to-back, that'll mean that he has a back-to-back title under his belt before the following players won a title: LeBron James and Michael Jordan. That just gave me chills. Jayson Tatum will go down as the greatest basketball player of all time, and the media avoids the fact that he's the face of the league, so that's where his frustration comes in. He hears everyone praise guys like SGA, Anthony Edwards, John Morant, and the following. What have they done? I know what Jayson Tatum's done, and I know what he's going to continue to do. There's no curveballs from Jayson Tatum. He'll give you 26, 10, and 8 a night, and I'm okay with that. And he'll mix in a 46 ball. But the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets named the next Michael Jordan, and meanwhile, he's never been past the second round and has never proved anything in a playoff series to us, and Jayson Tatum's won an NBA championship, that's where the disrespect comes in. Cookies and cream.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you talk about Jayson Tatum, sometimes I like to get you mad. Sometimes I like to sit back, let you cook, let you listen. Today and thus far, I mean, I would probably press the glazing button just a little bit, but you're right on when it comes to Jayson Tatum doing the right things. He plays basketball the right way, and at the end of the day, he gets undeserved hate. So, yeah, shout out Jayson Tatum. And happy birthday, Jayson Tatum.
Okay. Do you not understand? I know I just threw a lot at you, and it was like 7 weaves, 4 different topics. I finally got back to the point. Do you understand that the NBA media ignores that Tatum is the face of the league, and they don't want to give it to him because they don't like Jayson Tatum for who he is?
This was my question.
And they want to make SGA, Anthony Edwards, a dude in high school, college. Sorry, Cooper Flag is now at Duke. Guys that they're trying to make all the Victor Wembanyama guys a face of the league, while we have one. There's not a debate for it. We don't need to find the next face of the league. I said 3 years ago when LeBron, KD, and Steph retire and go their separate ways, and we're kind of getting into that phase, or at least in the next 3 years, 2 years, Tatum takes it over, and he has.
Mm-hmm.
Stop ignoring it.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think the problem when it comes to the face of the league is that, first of all, we have no idea who it's going to be because LeBron is still it until he retires. Once he retires, up for grabs. It could be Wemby. It could be Jayson Tatum. It could be Luka Doncic. We'll see.
We will see. But I already see, and like I said, I think the media is pushing it away, ignoring the fact that Tatum is already the face of the league and has done enough to be considered that. Anyways, let's talk about some actual things going on.
A lot of things have happened from the last time we've been here.
Yeah, you had a nice little vacation. She gonna be listening?
Maybe. Shit, fuck that.
I mean, bro, we got to be real, bro. At the end of the day,
It's a cut.
well, why are we cutting that? Hell no.
Hell
be real. You be real right now.
Hell no.
How are you feeling in this moment?
I'm feeling great, man.
I won't dive into it, but like, I don't even know her name.
Yeah, and you know what? It might stay that way. Lake Tahoe was great though.
Can you like label her like, you know how like Alex Cooper did like
this Jayson Tatum of mine. You know, I mean, is that not what type of label were you looking for? I don't know,
bro. Tatum's a basketball player, bro. I mean, I love Tatum.
Like a girlfriend?
Yeah. Is that not what we're talking about?
Oh shit, yeah.
You got a girl, bro. Maybe we'll cut it.
Maybe we will, yeah.
No, I don't want to cut it. I want you to confess your love on this podcast.
Why does it?
What's been on your mind? Because it hasn't been basketball.
Okay. Now it is on basketball.
I'm glad you had fun in Lake Tahoe. You missed some basketball.
Yes.
The Celtics played the Cavaliers. They also played the Pistons prior to that. And then they played the Nuggets on Sunday. So why don't we talk about that? But before we do, let's talk about Steph Curry's 56-point game and how, let's just say I said Steph Curry's the greatest basketball player of all time. And then a day later, he decided to drop 56 points. He's the greatest ever. At 6'3", we've never seen a more talented human touch a ball.
Facts, and facts. I mean, there's 186 languages in the human system. I think you just spoke facts, though.
Yeah, but you disagree.
I don't think he's the GOAT. I don't think he's better than LeBron, but I think he's debatably better than MJ, but he's number 3 all time on my list.
Okay. Respectable.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the fact that we were just in the sauna before this episode, and we were chatting it up with a few homies, and whatever got the debate started. I think I was in the cold shower. Meanwhile, one of the guys is coming out of the sauna, and he started talking about LeBron and then MJ, and then I said Steph's the GOAT, and he said, wait, I think Steph's the GOAT too. I think there's this common consensus between our generation that it's like, yeah, LeBron might be the GOAT. MJ's probably the GOAT, but to me, who's my GOAT?
Mm-hmm.
It's Steph Curry. Like we turned on the TV not for LeBron, but for Steph Curry for the last 10 years. When he was injured for a year, the NBA was not the same.
I think if you took the entire NBA fan base, all 100 million Instagram followers that the NBA has, and you ask every single one of them, who do they think the GOAT is? I think it's going to be like the general 1-2 battle is going to be still MJ and Bron. It's always been MJ Bron, and it always will be MJ Bron.
But I think Steph Curry gets more love than ever before. And I think in the next 5 years, especially if he gets the 5th and LeBron doesn't, he will just add his name to the conversation. The second he
Well, that's not
wins,
happening.
the second he wins a 5th championship and LeBron still is at 4, is the second every Steph Curry fan can say, LeBron James, you are not the GOAT anymore. Like right now, we
He's
respectfully.
He's not being LeBron.
He has multiple times.
With Kevin Durant.
He
on
had
his team.
Kyrie Irving.
That's
Supposedly
no.
the most talented basketball player the game has ever seen.
Levels to it.
Levels to it.
There's levels to
There
it.
are.
Who choked a 3-1 lead in the finals?
When are people going to realize that Klay Thompson was very good, but he wasn't the greatest? Draymond Green was solid. He was a really good Hall of Famer.
Y'all went
Stephen Curry was that
73-9.
entire team. So, yeah, they brought over Kevin Durant, and they were the most beautiful form of basketball that I have ever seen.
73-9. Couldn't get the job. One win away. But LeBron James. He's 2-1. By the way,
He's
I
3-2.
have to mention this.
He's 3-2.
He's 2-1.
3-2.
LeBron
I don't care
James.
about the 2-1. He's 3-2. Steph Curry is 3-2 all time versus LeBron James in playoff series.
LeBron James is 2-1 against Steph Curry all time in playoff series without Kevin Durant in it. That's the elephant in the room, buddy.
No, the elephant in the room is that people have hated on Steph Curry without hating.
I will never hate on Steph Curry.
Yeah, but
I think
secretly
LeBron
you're doing
James
that right now.
But LeBron James is the GOAT. If I don't think Steph Curry is the GOAT, that doesn't mean I'm hating on him.
No, I know.
I have him third all time.
I just think you're finding reasons to not have him better than LeBron. That's fine. I think most people would agree with you. But me personally,
I respect your opinion. I really do.
I watched
really do.
Team USA this year, and I said if you had to pick which player you take off that team, it sure as hell is not Stephen Curry.
Mm-hmm. And it's not LeBron either.
No, if you had to pick between the two of them.
I'm taking LeBron.
Off the team.
I'm taking LeBron to
So if you take Steph
wave
off the
flag.
team, if you take so if you take Steph off the team, then they don't win gold.
If you take Steph off the team,
They would not have won gold.
America, this is for you.
You don't even debate me. You just like I feel like I'm just speaking to a wall right now.
Okay, honestly though, LeBron James is a way better two-way player, and that also buries the argument. I mean, I have a million of arguments why LeBron James is better than Steph Curry. Steph Curry didn't start becoming good at basketball until 2016, by the way. Think about that. Wait, no, 2014, 2015. That's when he was like that's when he received his first All-Star selection, and he was actually born.
Yeah,
He got drafted in 2011.
He has the
12,
greatest.
something
He has
like
the
that.
greatest peak career of all time
Okay, yeah, but he's not
because his
he's not
greatness.
better. Whenever you take into account
LeBron's
everything.
longevity is beautiful, 1,000%. But when you look at what Steph Curry did, the second he figured it out, he hasn't
Yeah,
stopped.
he's the greatest shooter of all time.
No, he's the
undoubtedly.
greatest player of all time.
No,
He is the greatest winner of all time.
definitely not.
He stepped into the league.
Wait,
And he struggled. He
That's
had
a great-
injuries. And
that's
all of
actually
a
a great
sudden,
take.
he figured it out.
That's
They
actually a
clicked.
great take.
In 2014, their team clicked. And all of a sudden, Steph Curry figured it out. And it was because of Steph Curry. I've never seen a greater basketball player. I get LeBron's dominance, but he's about
I think LeBron is the greatest, the best, and whatever, the sexiest basketball player ever. But the reason why I'm saying Steph Curry is not better or dominant or whatever than LeBron James is because LeBron James is everything. Like literally if you're a LeBron
That's how I
James fan,
feel
you
about
understand
Jason
what I
Tatum.
mean.
Yeah,
well,
no.
I
get it.
God
No,
is
I
everything,
get it.
but-
I get it.
Yeah. As a Jason Tatum fan, he understands. Jason Tatum, who's his favorite basketball player ever?
Kobe.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I thought it would be LeBron because
You gotta like lock in. When it comes to locking in, you need to lock in because the fact that you didn't know that Jason Tatum's his profile picture on Instagram is Kobe Bryant.
I remember that. Yeah.
He has the same. It's Tatum on the bottom and Kobe on the top.
Yeah, that's why he gets that hate.
Yeah. And guess what? He looked like Kobe Bryant in the first half against Cleveland. Let's talk about the Celtics.
Yeah.
Last 3 games. Since Nate was away, I didn't get to watch him with him. And frankly, that kind of hurt. It was like, damn, we're seeing Tatum go for 46 here, and Nate's not watching. He's not going to get to see the true greatness that I always talk about. But at the end of the day, Cleveland won the game, and it was an impressive win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nate all year has been praising Donovan Mitchell and continuing to bring his name up in conversations. I think we were talking about this earlier when I picked you up from the airport. I was basically saying, like, Donovan Mitchell, what he does, it's one of the more, talk about underappreciating Jayson Tatum. Donovan Mitchell is probably the most underappreciated player in the last 5 years, or at least in that top 5 conversation of most underappreciated. What he does from a scoring perspective.
It's the first time I'm hearing you say this, by the way.
Listen, they beat us. They beat us on our home court.
Yeah.
Despite us 2-2. Despite us not having Drew or KP, despite us not having Kristaps Porzingis, which is, I mean, we literally had 2 guys that help us dramatically defensively, and we lost the game because we could not stop anything. I think my main takeaway, sorry if I'm moving away from a different topic. I forget what I was just talking about there.
No, continue.
But my main takeaway from this game was that the Celtics, obviously, they didn't have KP and Drew out there, but I'm not going to make that change my opinion. Like, if the Cavs win the game, then they beat the Celtics. You know, what we had out there was what we had out there, and we put up our best fight. The reason why we, weren't our best self, I think, is because defensively, when you have KP and Drew, it's just a lot smoother. We play better in that as that starting 5. It's a very good defensive starting 5, and they play very well together. But offensively, the game plan for Cleveland was do not double team Jayson Tatum, do not double team Jaylen Brown. Let them go single coverage ISO mode and beat us off the dribble the entire game. Tatum went for 46. Jaylen Brown went for 37. They combined for 83 points. If they got the superstar calls that they deserve to get, Tatum would have had 64 and Brown would have had 50.
Bro, it's been a long time.
They would have combined for 100 total points between 2 players. And so that is a positive. I look at how Cleveland played us defensively, and I say, are you out of your mind? That will be the last time the Cleveland Cavaliers win a game against Boston Celtics if they do that defensively. You're telling me you're not gonna double team Jayson Tatum? Every other team in the NBA, their sole strategy, you have to stop Jayson Tatum. You have to limit Jayson Tatum. You can't stop him, but you can limit him. And if you're just gonna let Tatum go for 50 and Brown for 40, I can only imagine if you insert the unicorn into that lineup, there's no world where the Cleveland Cavaliers can guard that. There's not a player on Cleveland that can single coverage contain Jayson Tatum. And on the flip side of it, defensively, we were not there. We did not play good defense. It's why we lost the game. The game turned into a track meet. Cleveland outshot us. We were taking too many 2s late, missing too many shots, and Donovan Mitchell showed up. But I expect us to be a way better defensive team in the postseason when it matters. I'm not concerned about our defense. I just expect us to be a better team defensively, which will lead us to victories over the Cleveland Cavaliers. But those are my takeaways on the Cleveland game.
Cute, but you guys are 2-2. Cleveland's won 2 games this year. Boston's won 2 games this year. So, you know what that means, Jack? That means it's 0-0. And you will be seeing them in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's when you guys are going to be, meeting your first real challenge. I think Boston makes the NBA Finals this year. I think everything that you're saying is reasonable. You're not, talking out of your mind like these comments are saying, man. Shout out the comments, by the way, man. The comment section was really making my day today. Absolutely hysterical. But yeah, I mean,
funny.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty funny. I see next we have what scares you about the Oklahoma City Thunder?
No, we still have to talk about the Celtics Nuggets game.
Oh,
yeah,
the most recent one.
Yeah, don't try and avoid that game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, come on.
In a game
Pause.
where Jayson Tatum doesn't shoot the ball well, he still finds a way to affect the team in a positive way and win the game. It wasn't Tatum. It was a lot of guys. It was a combination. It's the best team of all time. So
combination.
Many guys can do it for them. I look at Derek White as a guy who consistently is hitting threes and stepping up in big moments and just I just love you, Derek White. Everything about you. Thank you for going bald. You inspired me. You gave me confidence that one day I will be okay. But on top of Derek White's performance, Jaylen Brown is a guy, he had 37 against the Cavs and needed to step up because Drew and KP were out. But against the Nuggets, if Tatum's not shooting well, you got Jaylen Brown going in there and dominating every time he touches the ball.
Also, adding to Jaylen Brown, like him scoring 37 points against the Cavs, like that's great basketball, and that's what we need to see as basketball fans. Like it's great for the game.
Yeah, and he is the best Robin in the NBA.
The Lakers exist.
I said that with full understanding of LeBron James in mind.
All 8 inches of understand? No, I'm playing.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think we have the better duo.
I'm sorry, what?
Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown is a better duo than Luka Doncic and LeBron James. And if you think that Luka and LeBron are a better duo than Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown,
who do you think wins on a 2-on-2?
I don't care who wins in a 2-on-2. I care about one duo being together for the last 7 years and going through trials and tribulations together versus a 40-year-old and some dude who just got his heart broken. I get that it's in LA and it's flashy and fantastic, but give me a break. They've had 7 games together. Tatum and Brown just won a title together, and Tatum wasn't even the guy that won the Finals MVP. They have 2 MVPs. What are we talking about here? Put some respect on the Boston Celtics and Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown's names. I'm tired of the disrespect. This is exactly what I talk about.
Not the best duo in the NBA anymore.
If
you want to talk about,
I mean, if they were once the best duo in the NBA, what did they do in the last 48 hours to change your mind?
No, Nico Harrison picked up the phone and called the Los Angeles Lakers and gave them Luka Doncic. That's what happened, buddy. And what LeBron James and Luka Doncic, 2 GOATs on the same team. It's what we talked about our formula, and I really, really want to go into this topic because we're already talking about duos. So I think you might as well just give your top 8 teams in the NBA today and kind of explain your understanding.
Yeah, you just pissed me off big time.
Of what it takes. Wait, how? Please explain. Because I don't think Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, just like 50% of the NBA audience or whatever, I just don't think, in my opinion, that they're the best duo in the NBA. Because
I think over the last 3 years, there has not been a more consistent duo, and therefore you can't say anybody other than them
if you
the
want
best
to go
duo
off
in the NBA. And all of a sudden, we're not just going to sit here and think Luka Doncic is going to have any chance against that duo in an NBA Finals. The same story will happen. Just you wait. Wait. Give me the Lakers.
I'm going to give you my reasoning.
Give me Luka Doncic. I'm going to give you my LeBron James.
I'm going to give you my
5 games.
I'm going to give you Lakers in 5.
Yeah, Celtics.
All
in 5.
right. Listen to me.
We'll sweep your ass.
All right, look, listen. The reason why
I'll watch it here. We're already here.
The reason
I'll get to see.
Yeah, I know.
I'll get to see that back to back. The confetti is gonna be falling in Crypto Arena, and Jayson Tatum hoists his second with the Finals MVP along with it.
So look, I'm gonna explain exactly my reasoning. This isn't to rage bait you. This isn't.
No, I know.
This isn't to piss you off.
You have every right to
say
that Luka and LeBron are the best duo in the NBA. I'm just here to tell you right now, you are wrong.
I pissed you off for it.
No, you are wrong. Because when people say Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are the best duo in the NBA, or Joel Embiid with whoever the hell he got on his team, all these beautiful looking duos, they might work out here and there. They might win a few playoff series, maybe even make it to an NBA Finals, Luka and Kyrie. But the consistency for the past 7 years to avoid trades in Boston, of all places, Jaylen Brown was nothing compared to what he is today. Jayson Tatum was nothing compared to what he is today. And to just ignore that body of work, the 8 years versus 5 games, it's disrespectful.
The more talented, the better duo. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's nothing that riles me up more
Man, that's
than somebody
Celsius.
coming in here
Bro.
and saying LeBron James and Luka Doncic is a better duo than Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, because Jaylen Brown can't dribble with his left hand.
But he can dunk on both of those guys in an NBA Finals and 4-0 sweep them.
Can't dunk on Braun.
Yeah, he can. Jayson Tatum did. So did Jaylen Brown, I'm pretty sure.
No, he didn't. You're,
Jaylen, let me just look this up on YouTube right now. Jaylen
we're
Brown.
taking this far.
Jaylen Brown dunks on LeBron.
Said no one ever.
Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas. Nice steal here. Little game of twist around the floor. Saved by Kyrie. Down court. Here comes who hammers it home with a great feed on the play from Tatum.
He got out the fucking way.
No. Yeah, exactly.
He got out the way.
Classic.
He got out the way.
He got out the way of Cleveland as a whole and went to a super team and started the entire thing that you bring up this argument about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, blah, blah, blah. This is all LeBron's fault.
Who's better
it's
all time?
LeBron's fault.
And Isaiah Thomas.
Who's better all time? The duo.
We're arguing
the
about
people
pointless
in
shit now.
green. No, we're not.
This isn't even going to go
Little
up
game
on
of
the
twist around the floor. Saved by Kyrie. Down court. Here comes
What are you even proving? He just got out the way. He didn't try to jump up, bro.
You said that Jaylen Brown has never dunked on LeBron, and I said yes,
Because
he has.
didn't.
And I just
because
showed
he
you.
didn't. He
That
didn't
was
dunk
dunking
on LeBron. He didn't dunk on LeBron. You know.
Get out of your fantasy world.
You're in your fantasy world.
I'm not. You are. At this point in time, you have lost your mind. I get the Lakers are going to the NBA Finals, maybe.
Celtics,
But there's no.
Celtics, Beltics.
No, I'm not just going to let you call them the best duo in the NBA. Give me a break.
They're the best duo in the NBA. Best duo in the NBA.
Anyways,
Best duo in the NBA.
speaking of duos, let's talk about this idea that I had. I have a top 8 NBA teams. It's a list. It's just my personal opinion on who I think is going to compete for a title. These are the top 8 teams. I don't care about records. Celtics at 1, Lakers at 2, Cavs at 3, Thunder at 4, Nuggets at 5, Warriors at 6, Knicks at 7, Bucks at 8. Now, one thing that's very important for a championship team is you have to have a top 5 player in the game of basketball. Maybe top 7, you can stretch it. But realistically, you don't have to have the best player. You don't have to have the MVP. But you have to have a top 7, top 5 player in the game of basketball in order to win an NBA championship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these 8 teams and I'm going to try and find the NBA champion. I'm going to try and look at it from a criteria perspective. What are the things, what are the signs in past years that, what are things that you can point towards in the past years that indicate a championship team? Mm-hmm. It's simply their best player and it's their second best player. If you have a reliable number 2 option, and in today's game, there's a lot of teams that have superstar number 2 options, then you have a chance to win the NBA title. And through this list, we're going to recognize that some of these teams have better number 2 options than others. Experience, talent, everything involved in it. So when I look at each team's second option, I'll just go down the list. Boston, Jaylen Brown. The Lakers, LeBron. Golden State, Jimmy Butler. The Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns. The Bucks, Damian Lillard. The Cavs, Evan Mobley. The Thunder, Jalen Williams. The Nuggets, Jamal Murray. Notice how I read that off in a different order than the previous order. That is because that is the order I truly think. Take the top 3 teams I read. Boston, LA, Golden State. When you look at their number 2 options, their number 2 options are just simply better, more experienced, overall greater basketball players than the 5 other teams. Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler. They're all kind of interchangeable number 2 options. Number 1 options but in the role of a number 2 option now in this current moment.
So what about Dame?
You look at Damian Lillard, he kind of elevates the Bucks, despite the Bucks being not really a contender. You look at them and you say, well, they have Giannis and Dame. Mm-hmm. That's kind of enough.
That's it.
That's really
the rest are nobodies.
But at the end of the day, that is a good start to building a championship team, having those 2 type of players. And when I look at the Knicks, the Cavs, Evan Mobley, The Thunder, Jalen Williams. Those teams don't scare me because of their second options.
Yeah.
When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're the best team record-wise in the NBA right now. The Thunder, best team record-wise in the West. Those teams do not scare me come playoff time, not because of their best player, but because of their second option. The Nuggets, they were my Western Conference champ at the start of this season. Luka gets traded to LA. Jimmy gets traded to Golden State. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, if Jamal Murray is not the Jamal Murray that the Glazers of Jamal Murray make him out to be, if Jamal Murray doesn't return to his dominant fashion, then the Nuggets are not going to go anywhere, and the Nuggets, too, are pretenders. And I'm looking at the Lakers and Warriors as the only threats to the Boston Celtics of a back-to-back championship.
Lakers, Celtics. It's going to be Lakers, Celtics. I mean, you called me out last episode for switching up. To be fair, yes, you did, but I'm simply examining what I'm seeing, and the Nuggets are playing around too much.
Yeah, let's talk on that a little bit. Let's discuss both teams in the Western Conference that I think most people have at 1 and 2 in this current moment. So you and I both believe it's going to be Celtics Lakers, but the two Western Conference teams that are standing tall right now are OKC and Denver. Let's start with OKC because a couple of episodes ago you said despite their best record in the Western Conference, they are not contenders in the Western Conference or to win an NBA championship. I would love to know what your reasoning is for why you don't believe in OKC down the stretch come playoff time.
First of all, their second option, what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think in close game situations in the playoffs, when you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down the stretch, knocking down shot after shot after shot, eventually he's going to have to kick it out to a guy to come make a play. And is it going to be Chet? Is it going to be Jalen Williams? I don't trust them. Mm-hmm. That's why I think the ceiling for the teams that you mentioned were 3 and 4, the Cavs and the Thunder, or wait, no, 4 and 5, I believe. 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. They're both the number 1 seeds in the NBA right now, but their second options kind of scare me, and I like the teams above them, which is I mean, you cracked the code damn near.
In the NBA, in order to compete for a championship, you have to have a good roster. You have to have great role players. You have to have a good culture, a good coach, a great best player. But at the end of the day, that second option is just as important, if not more important, than your first option in terms of how they perform in the playoffs. We know what we're going to get from player A, from Luka Doncic, from Anthony Edwards, from Jayson Tatum. What are we going to get from Karl Anthony Towns, from Jalen Williams, from, Evan Mobley? We don't know. And we know what we're going to get from LeBron, who's the second option for the Lakers. Jaylen Brown, second option for the Celtics. We know what we're going to get from these guys.
So you want to do it?
Do what?
Number 2 options draft?
Oh, let's do it. Anyways, let's do it. Drafting the best second options in the NBA today. We are both the rules analysts, so if you say something that may rise some question marks, then we will call you out for it.
Explain your pick. Yeah, just explain your pick.
Yeah, you just have to explain it. You have to understand that you're not getting away with getting a first option with a second option draft, okay?
Right, exactly.
Like, if you come on here and you pick Luka Doncic, like, I'm not going to allow you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do that?
No.
Okay.
Come on. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I feel like that's something you would do. With the first overall pick in the best second options draft, give me Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown is a great second option in the NBA, but you know what he isn't? He isn't an MVP candidate. Give me LeBron James with my first overall pick.
Good pick.
Boom! LeBron James. LeBron James.
Okay. Second options. We might have to get the rules analysts
Don't be
involved a little quicker than usual in this one. I mean, Jimmy Butler's just not a second option. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves.
No, he is. He
No,
is.
he is, but that's why I'm picking him. I was just claiming that I can't go with anybody other than Jimmy Butler right now.
Yeah, you can't.
Give me Jimmy Butler. Okay. Who are you going with?
I mean,
They don't have to be playoff teams.
no, but they're gonna be playoff teams.
No, they don't. I mean, there's 8 players right here.
I know, but I'm saying
There's definitely.
I'm picking playoff teams.
All right. You're not going to be able to get all 5 playoff teams.
I'm locked in right now. I'm locked into Dame time. Give me Damian Lillard with my second overall pick.
We're going right to the rules analyst right now. Right now. Who you want? Who you want me to have, in other words? I'm going to ask you. You get to pick the player that I get. Okay?
Go crazy.
Who do I get? Kyrie or Anthony Davis? Boy, did you mess up. Who you want me to have?
Shit.
I cooked him.
I mean that's kind of like unfair.
How is that unfair?
They haven't played
You
together.
did not think of that.
They haven't played together.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Congratulations for coming out the closet.
Coming out of the bro, I just cooked you in a draft. You're just mad that you didn't think of that. You like Kyrie, and you know that that was a bro. If we left that off of the draft, people would be like, then what even are the duos? That is the definition of a top 5 duo in the NBA.
I mean, what are we supposed to do?
You just don't know ball.
No. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do whenever the rules analyst?
I just asked you. I said you have the right now to give me. No, I said
you don't even know.
You
don't even know who to pick because
I'm asking you. Who do you want me to pick? Because I don't know which one the second option is. I would say it's probably Kyrie.
Exactly.
It's probably, but you get LeBron, but I just can't pick one of those guys.
So he said I can't pick Luka, but
you
on
can
a team where you don't know.
I just said yes. You get to pick.
Whoa.
You get to pick either Kyrie or I said.
How am I going to take your pick for you?
Because I'm going to you as the rules analyst. I'm not going to just pick AD. I know AD is better than Kyrie. I am telling you, give it to me.
I don't know who the second option is. I couldn't tell you.
You have to. I cooked you in the draft.
They've played 35 minutes together, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
I will take Anthony Davis.
No.
Fine. If you're not going to pick Kyrie, I'll take AD.
Just put it on the draft.
That's your fault.
Just put it on the draft.
No, I'm not. I won the draft. I literally just won the draft.
Bro, it's the third pick. Calm down, bro. I'm just saying.
You decided not to answer my question. I'm now taking AD.
For your third pick, hold on. You can't just take AD. It's going to be Mavs duo.
Bro, no.
You just have the Mavs duo.
No. It's a second option.
Duo. You don't.
All
Anthony
I
Davis
did, Nate,
isn't the bro. You don't know.
You struggle with listening skills because all I did was ask you. You get to decide.
You don't know who it is
because I cooked you. You're right. I mean, I know who it is. Kyrie.
Nobody knows who it is. Nobody knows.
They traded Luka Doncic.
They played 35 minutes together. Bro.
They traded Luka Doncic for a second option.
Bro.
I'll take Kyrie.
You don't know who it is.
I know who it is. It's Kyrie. He's the second option. There's no way AD's not the second option.
Right.
But I was the one who asked you the question.
Go ahead. Take your guy.
You could have just been like, hey, yeah, Kyrie. I thought we were going to have a fun game here. And I was just asking you to pick it for me because I did win. Like, that was a great decision on my part to bring that up.
Do you want to just like re-say the clip? Okay.
No. Everything that just was said is in this clip.
Okay.
It's either Kyrie or AD,
and
you refuse to answer for me.
That's like no.
Then LeBron and Luka, you can't pick either of them if that's what you want to say.
No,
you complaining about me picking Kyrie is one of the more outrageous things in the history of this podcast.
All right. With my third overall pick, I'll just take. Give me a second. I do have to acknowledge that was a little bit embarrassing on my part.
You just got cooked, and you just were afraid to admit it in our
Karl Anthony
argument.
Towns. That's an MVP candidate. I'm taking MVP candidates. You're taking all-stars.
Future first ballot Hall of Famers.
Nah. My guys already are as well. No, but to be honest, yes, you had the right pick.
And all I did was ask you, just tell him.
But I couldn't. I
didn't
can't
know.
tell you. Nobody knows.
But you
could
could
pick
have.
Luka. You could pick,
bro. I got enraged because I asked you a simple question after I wanted to enjoy the fact that I just cooked you. In that moment,
okay, I know,
I
but
was
like,
playing chess.
But like the fact that you were like cocky about it too.
I was.
And then you said,
yeah,
you're
but then you caused a fight instead of just being like Kyrie. Instead of
I don't
immediately
know.
saying,
I don't know. Because I don't know.
Obviously Kyrie.
No, nobody knows that.
I'm pretty sure everyone
They
in America
traded away their franchise for Anthony Davis.
for a second option.
It could be.
I'm almost positive. I would bet everything that Kyrie Irving would say he's not the first option on that team.
Kyrie Irving's probably better than Anthony Davis all time.
What does that have to do with anything?
Anthony Davis could be the second option. Is what I'm saying.
They didn't trade away their
together.
first option for a second option. AD is their first option.
All right, bro, who's your
Do you want me to have AD or Kyrie?
Okay,
I'm not moving on.
I took the
until
L.
you give me.
I took the L on the pick.
If
yes.
you're gonna,
you have Kyrie.
You just debated that Kyrie's their first option.
Okay, you have Kyrie. Let's just move on, bro. We're fucking wasting time.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to get something out of this.
Yes, you got the pick. You probably have the win too on the poll.
My fourth overall pick. Give me Kevin Durant.
Dirk can't get a haircut. Dirk can't get a hairline. I'm gonna just be a hater, I guess. Give me Evan Mobley. I'm actually really proud of that pick.
You're really going out of your bag here. You're getting cooked. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No,
I mean you pick Evan Mobley.
Honestly,
I'm gonna go ahead and take Joel Embiid.
Goofy ass pick. Yeah, that is not the second option, and you know it.
Yeah,
that is not the second option.
That
You could have that pick just to feel good about yourself.
Do you want me to have Tyrese Maxey though?
But you want
me to have Maxey?
You know.
I'll take Maxey. You want me to have Maxey?
You know it's a cowardish pick.
Do you want me to take Maxey?
It's a coward pick.
I'll take Maxey.
You're a coward.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Coward.
That's what I thought.
Take whoever you want.
You got it. You get
all of your duos.
I'll take Joel Embiid.
All of your duos.
I cooked you in this draft. You don't know ball. I do. Just say that.
All your duos.
You don't know ball.
All of your duos. Okay. Am I satisfied with this pick? Not so much, but they are the team that I'm rooting for from an NBA fan perspective to win the finals this year. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jamal Murray with my last pick.
It's the right pick.
It's the right pick. Yeah. I guess you can say that.
All right. Let us know in the comments below who y'all thought won that draft. On the previous episode, I said the following. Top 10 basketball players of all time. At number 1, Stephen Curry. At number 2, LeBron James. At number 3, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. At number 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At number 5, Kobe Bryant. At number 6, Shaquille O'Neal. At number 7, Larry Bird. At number 8, Magic Johnson. At number 9, Bill Russell. At number 10, Tim Duncan. Now, number 11 through 20.
Let's get it.
Top 20 greatest basketball players of all time. I am forming a top 100 greatest basketball players of all time list. Here is 11 through 20. At number 11, Wilt Chamberlain. At number 12, Hakeem. Sorry, I got to lock in, bro. It's just when... At number 12, Hakeem Olajuwon. This is my official list. This is why, I'm
12.
I grew up with aspirations of being an analyst of the game,
Of understanding the game.
of simply becoming a respected name in the game. And here I sit today giving you the most accurate top 100 list when it comes to the 100 greatest basketball players of all time. At number 13, Jayson Tatum.
Buddy smacked the Kendrick Lamar and thinks Tatum's the 13th best basketball player of all time. 13? 13. Over Hakeem? No. Hakeem's at 12. Hakeem's at 12.
I did a lot of thought on this. I didn't know when I was going to put him. And then it just hit me. At number 14, I have Kevin Durant. At number 15, I have Nikola Jokic. At number 16, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. At number 17, I have Dirk Nowitzki. At number 18, Kevin Garnett. At number 19, Oscar Robertson. At number 20, Karl Malone. Listen, fellas, there are names that will be 21 through 30 that we normally would hear in the top 20. But at the end of the day, in the next 10 years, this list that we call the greatest list of all time, the greatest basketball players list of all time, I don't even know how to describe it other than to say there's multiple eras just being shoved into it. And I would say in the next 5 years, you got to scrap it all. You got to say, let's restart it. Start from the bottom. Start from the top, wherever it is. But understand, we now have more than 3 eras to pick from. It's getting wider. The talent is getting larger. And I'm putting guys like Giannis, Jokic, KD, and Jayson Tatum in my top 20 over guys like Jerry West.
Yeah.
Julius Erving, Charles Barkley, Moses Malone. These are guys that they built the game. They're the history of the game. But what is the game right now? It's Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, 25, 50-year-olds just had a heart attack hearing that.
They got to move on. We are going to always mention their names. But for the last 10 years, ever since LeBron James entered the NBA, there was a divide. They put a wall up right when he entered. They said, all right, every player prior to that, we're going to appreciate them, and we're going to compare everything to that era that came before LeBron James. And LeBron James and up, all of you guys, you're going to get disrespected and compared to the past, and you won't truly get your flowers until you're done. And by the time you're done, we'll just be like, all right, here's a jacket, get in the Hall of Fame, and we'll watch some of your old highlights on YouTube. It's time to appreciate greatness in the moment, and that is the one thing that is missing in everyday NBA media. We hold back on truly giving the flowers, on truly glazing. Apparently now, in 2025, apparently, it's not okay to say a nice thing about your favorite basketball player. Apparently, it's called glazing. Why can't I just say Jayson Tatum is one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen, and people don't think I'm dick riding? I'm actually just saying a factual statement that will be proven over the next 14 years. Anyways.
At 13, hey, you know what? Got to respect it. Shows you're serious, you know?
I saw Jayson Tatum sweep Kevin Durant in a playoff series. And this was a Kevin Durant that it was post-injury, but it was also the Kevin Durant that chose to leave Golden State to say, I want to go do this on my own. I want to go do this as the number one, as the sure number one. He said, Kyrie, come to Brooklyn. Took him from the Celtics right from us. And Tatum said, all right, they lost the year before with James Harden or whatever it was. And the switch was flipped. And Jayson Tatum in a series against Kevin Durant head-to-head outplayed him, a 23, 24-year-old Jayson Tatum. So say what you want about Kevin Durant. I love the player. I think he's one of the greatest all time. I think if he was Michael Jordan, like if he was in place of Michael Jordan, he would have had 6 rings and would be known as the greatest basketball player of all time. Mm-hmm. But because he was when he's 14 and he's behind Jayson Tatum at this point in time. A 27-year-old Jayson Tatum is better all time than Kevin Durant. All right, that's going to do it for Imagine Sports, episode 186. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure you download every single episode. Turn on notifications on the YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. On Spotify as well, Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review on Spotify. And lastly, go check out Dabble. If you want to put in some bets, go check out Dabble. JCOTE is the promo code to get you $10 when you sign up. You don't have to deposit right away. You can just they put $10 right in your account when you use JCOTE after downloading the app. So go check out Dabble and get in on the NBA action with the fellas. I think we bricked tonight, but you know what? There's always tomorrow.
There is always tomorrow.
That's going to do it for Imagine Sports.
Peace out.
We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Somebody call my baby. 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 You're like a warm summer's day.